And indeed, another person who is very familiar to WWE viewers is, of course, Kevin Kelly. Kevin Kelly is going to be commentating for this internet pay-per-view. Not yet going to HDNet, but he will be on that pay-per-view if you are streaming from Go Fight Live.
I like Kelly, but I really like Kevin Kelly. He's got it. He's got that WWE buzz. He's got that. He's been there. He can handle that workload. Today sometimes can be a bit I don't know, boring, I suppose would be the apt word. But Kevin Kelly, I've always been a fan of Kevin Kelly. He's old school.
Kevin Kelly joining Ring of Honor and commentating, and he's a guy who always has the fans' best interests at heart. I've listened to his podcasts and he's up on the situation. Certainly he's involved in independent federations around America, and he does indeed make appearances for ISPW in New Jersey, I believe. And Kevin Kelly now to have a more prominent role. I'd like to see him on the main TV show, actually. The two guys who are there right now are very excellent and they do a great job, but Kevin Kelly, maybe even a third man on that desk, would put it over even more. Yeah,
it would be great to see Cornette, Heyman and Kevin Kelly. That would be fantastic for Ring of Honor. I know Heyman recently declined a return to TNA, and within good reason, I think, for what he would bring to it, what he would want, what he's certainly capable of. I think it would be another WWE Part 2 kind of situation with the politics and Hogan and Bischoff if it was Heyman coming in there. So Heyman and Cornette, on the other hand, God knows how that would be. Two big egos there, but could be quite fascinating at the same time.
Absolutely, looking forward to the Grudge Tag Team match. And also on the card, we've got the Pick 6 Series match, Kenny King versus Davey Richards, which is, well, it speaks for itself. You got that World Tag Team title match, the excellent, legit team of the Briscoes, Jay and Mark, if they are still champions. They're going to defend against the Kings of Wrestling with Shane Hagedorn.
Yep, this one's going to be great. Briscoe brothers are the real deal. And they can cut that North Kakalaki promo as good as anyone, the Briscoe brothers. So that's going to be an intense match, and they're the real deal, those boys.
Yes, and finally, as we mentioned, it's the biggest match on the card, the World Title Triple Threat match. It's being built now on HDNet week after week, and exceptionally well. Jim Cornette in the mix there, bringing that heat to the guys, changing stipulations, doing stuff with rules. You never know what Cornette's going to do, right?
Yeah, this is going to be an amazing match. I really hope old Roderick Strong comes out on top. Thinks he's time to shine. But again, Tyler Black's just fresh in the picture.
Before Wrestlemania 26, and I think they did a good job this week. They always do on that show before Wrestlemania. And we had the Phenom, The Undertaker, appearing on Raw to confront Shawn Michaels. Of course, the guest host was Pete Rose, who's in the Hall of Fame. Why? No one ever really has figured that one out. But certainly he's going to be inducting Bob Uecker, is it? Another... what I was found interesting to see that WWE.com said was a not so great. That's what they said. They didn't exactly put over the guy they're putting in there tonight.
Yeah, I watched the Hall of Fame, and I thought he was very funny, Bob Uecker, actually. It puzzles me when you see these people that really haven't given huge contributions to the business, in a sense, be put over and even get the TV time that what's the broadcast on in the States? Somebody might be able to help me in the chat thing here. Is it the USA Network?
It is.
Yeah, USA. For the 1 hour when it's edited down, that someone like that Bob Uecker guy gets all that TV time on that show, when somebody like Stu Hart, who has actually done tenfold for the business what that chap has done, you know? It kind of puzzles me, and that was one thing I didn't really like about the Hall of Fame. But I did notice on WWE.com that you can see all those other introductions, or inductees, should I say, for anyone who's curious about Wendy or Mad Dog and the rest of the people that didn't get shown on USA. But what was the question again?
Speaking about this week's Raw and moving on, I mean, I forget the question. I'm so into it tonight. But we had the Phenom on Raw. Pete Rose arranged HBK versus Kane. They lined up Kane to be that sort of fall guy for The Undertaker. Certainly, if you want to get to The Undertaker, you usually have to go through his brother Kane. And indeed, it's going to be interesting to see that match tonight. And John Morrison, he defeated the Unified Tag Team Champion The Miz from the dirt sheet to a dirty shame. The friendship between John Morrison and his former partner The Miz going a bit sour. And it's one that would have probably been better. Wouldn't that have been good? Maybe see John Morrison take on The Miz in a solo match rather than teaming him up with R-Truth against Show and Miz. Maybe we could have left Big Show and R-Truth out of there altogether.
I would have done that's what I would really have loved to have done. It's worrying stuff, this match tonight. It's worrying stuff. It's got me all flustered and worried about the future of the business. But anyway, Morrison and Miz, they can deliver. That was a great little solid match on Raw. And Morrison coming out on top. I like Jomo. Check out his DVD. It's quite interesting too. Rockstar. His training techniques. I was sold on the promo that they showed on some break. I think it was an Australian version of SmackDown, and they put that DVD over and made me check it out. So you should check it out too. Jomo's Rockstar DVD, and I'm fortunate to see him in a horrible tag match later on tonight at Wrestlemania. I feel sorry for the guy.
It's an excellent DVD. It's a new format for those WWE DVDs. But yeah, it's a great DVD. Certainly a lot of the stuff will be very fresh in your mind because it's matches from recent Raws. And I know it'll remind you quite quickly. You'll probably remember some of them. But saying that, they're great matches. And John Morrison, fantastic performer.
Yeah, John Morrison's great. I think hopefully he can improve some bit on those mic skills, but I think it's the babyface gimmick that he's got going. I mean, I love his gimmick, and I think I've always said they should have turned him heel and really kind of done a crossover with a kind of $1 million man of the Rockstar world, and so many little things you could have done with him. I think of Paul Stanley from Kiss and all those Kiss documentaries, where he's just living the life of the rock star, and there's some hilarious skits. And if creative were smart about it, they could do something really funny and really get that John Morrison rock star gimmick really over, because he could do it real justice. I think he's a funny guy.
John Morrison and the Morrison Rockstar DVD in stores now. Now, of course, just a few weeks ago, you had the new generation, Legacy and Sheamus, standing tall. Now, this week, it was the rematch, the time to maybe have Triple H and Randy Orton get their own back. When Sheamus and Legacy, they took on Triple H and Randy Orton in a 3-on-2 handicap match. Certainly keeping those guys on TV and setting the scene for both matches. This was an interesting match. Before the bout, Rhodes and DiBiase, who will face each other along with the Viper in that triple threat match, made it clear that their alliance had frayed, and indeed over the past few weeks we've seen nothing but strife between Legacy and Orton.
Yeah, the build is in place for this one. I suppose it's what you could do best. A little bit of a mishmash, and probably doesn't really sell both of those matches well, having it the way they did on Raw with the handicap match. But again, I suppose you have to have some sort of a build, and you're not going to give the matches away for free on the show before Mania either. So yeah, I mean it did the build nicely, and got Sheamus and Legacy over. So
we're talking about the past week's Monday Night Raw and exactly what happened there on the road to Wrestlemania.